Welcome back to my channel, everyone. The show's Fox. Come back to another episode of Let's Play Crusader Kings 3 Sparta from the Bronze Age here. So now we're continuing on our quest to be able to create the Empire of Achaia, and all the while we are going to slowly but surely start chipping away at some of these smaller provinces that are not a part of these confederations that we noticed from our last episode or two. So we're gonna have to just kind of slowly but surely take these. This character is not long, yeah, and I knew that, like, from the last episode, we didn't have much time left, so we're gonna have to definitely be careful with things as we go along here. Our current character, let's check him out. Really good stats, obviously 3, 4, 22. I think some of that's coming from the Queen, and the rest of the stats are really not that good. It's mostly just stewardship, really. So we're gonna have to just be careful as we go through here. It does look like we have some pretty decent people to put in these counselor positions, so we're just going to worry about that. Not the best, I gotta be honest with this right here, but I need to go ahead and get these two right here. Once I get these two, then I'll definitely march on to Marshall. Our current character is 39, so he's not the youngest character either, so we do have to be careful with that. But let's just focus on one thing at a time. We're going to get this one person here. We do have somebody over there who is trying to attack us. We can negotiate some alliances. So one thing I want to be careful with this episode is I want to make sure that when it comes to this character dying and having some more, we need to make sure that we don't have any more sons than what we have right now. So that is kind of where I'm at right now with that. I need to just make sure that I don't lose any more land than what I already have. I've already lost a bunch. I have 3 of 9 total holdings that I could possibly have. So we can't really lose any more. So it's just something that we have to be careful of going forward. Let me go ahead and get to 5 speed here. Oh, hello. I think we just win this here. Make sure we have a really good. Okay, we do have some decent people here for that. All right, let's march on down over here, and let's get these guys done with. Oh wow. Okay, so that person has a really strong set of troops right there. So we have to be very careful with that mercenary band that he has. Let's do that. And let's see what we can get for our daughter. Our daughter, for as far as an alliance power, we do have one who's got 824, which is pretty decent. I want to get out of this war as fast as possible, so if I can alliance power, foreign ruler with 1,300 troops, I do think this is going to be good. And this is pretty good for us not to have any more children as well, and we can get some people to come and help us with this war real fast. And I'm going to wait for these guys to get here because there's no sense in me marching over there until they get here. Okay. Okay, so now let's march our guys over here and let's take on these guys. And let's go ahead and let's take this awesome. Not too worried about that. Alright, and we're going to enforce demands here. And what we're going to do now, because of that, we are going to actually go after this guy. I want to go for his kingdom, and I'm going to... You are pledged in a holy war against... Let me go ahead and call these guys both back to war here, because... Yeah, I mean, if I can actually win this pretty quickly, I think that it would be worth it. There we go. Okay, and that gives us quite a bit of land here. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing here. I think that this guy's troops should still be there. Hopefully. Yeah, they are. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and just keep on sieging. I'm not too worried about when this holy war starts. Oh, we have some. Okay, first of all, we're going to go ahead and enforce demands there. Great. Go ahead and get golden obligations there. And we're going to call this guy here to help us with this. Let me see. So he's defending. Or no, he's attacking. Okay, good. That honestly makes things alright to deal with. Okay. My son and heir, we will educate him. And my other son, we will educate him. And our daughter, we will have our nephew watch over that. So that'd be good. Alright, beautiful. And then we'll get this other ally from this marriage right here with our second son. And we'll call him over here to help us real quick. Okay, well, the war that we're going against is definitely going well, just strictly by the way it's starting off here. Which one's worse, sadistic or paranoid? Nah, sadistic is definitely better than paranoid. Can't say I'm exactly happy that that's the choices I was left with, but not really much you can do there. Alright, beautiful. We're going to enforce demands. We're going to get out of this war here. We're going to go ahead and march our guys back to where our lands are. Alright, fine. Okay, so now we're going to take a look and see who around us was actually fightable. Like, if that's the way you can say that. Because there's a bunch of people that are, you know, close to being able to be beat in a war. I want to see. This person we're going against is 345 troops to our 1,000. I'm going to try to do this solo. I'm going to try to do this without help from our allies, just because of our prestige not being the highest. Okay, and there's our 100%. This is going pretty well here. We are getting a lot more land than I was kind of expecting on the start of this episode, because I was starting to wonder how well things would start going with all of these different um, confederations around us, because there's a bunch of people that are in confederacies that would just make things really difficult. Even the ones that aren't still have a lot of allies and stuff. So we just have to be careful. This one's a winnable war here, so we're going to go ahead and attack that one as well. This war, when is it going to start? I guess is the real question. It doesn't really say. So I mean, I'm just going to keep on going. Awesome. How do I turn automated? Yeah, I don't want automated. Um, to be on there, that would be pretty bad. Stubborn, brave, wrathful. Okay, stubborn's not the worst. Let's see, brave. I think is probably the best one to get here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with brave there. Um, okay, one thing I do want to do real quick. We're gonna go into our throne room. We're going to just do this real quick. Well, I saw something that gave us a little bit of a reduction in stress, which is something that's probably just going to help us here because that's kind of where I'm leaning at. That's kind of what I'm leaning to handling right now. Okay, so it even gives a little. If you were reading that, if you want to go back and see that, I think they gave us a little buff for actually having a feast in the near future. And feasts are expensive; like they're not a cheap thing to do, but they are something that would be really nice to go ahead and do for reduction in our stress levels and everything, because our stress is becoming a problem. So, all right, so now we're going to march our guys over here to this province right here, and we're just going to siege it. It's going to take a little bit of time. Okay. Some defeat happened. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but that's okay. Okay. Well, we lost 10 stress, which was nice. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose 100 stress there. That was the one that that I was looking for. Because I know in base CK that's usually an option where you can have an opportunity to lose 100 stress through one of the different pop-ups that happen. So definitely good to go ahead and get that out the way. I don't know exactly what happened with the Holy War. Um, it's just gone. So I'm assuming that it just flat out failed at some point, like to even get off the ground, or like the war like was lost immediately. Couldn't honestly tell you, but that's honestly fine. Kind of makes things a little bit easier that way. We're going to go ahead and feudalize these few holdings that it gives us an opportunity to, because we do have a ton of gold, and I think getting them feudal probably just helps us more than anything. Let's take a time out here from all the raiding real quick and fighting, because raiding's gonna be the next thing I'm looking to do, assuming I don't find something here interesting. Let's look at decisions. So we can't find a holy order, but we're missing a bunch of piety. We're missing some gold, so not really something to worry about right now. Consecrating the bloodline, we're missing a ton of piety, so we can do that. Devotion is got to be at 5, which we're not even close to, and has at least 75% opinion of us, which does not really help us. Dynasty of Many Crowns, at least 10 members of the Muranath dynasty. Um, Currently, one fulfilled this requirement as an independent ruler. Highest gain title is that. Okay, that's not really going to help us much. Finding a new empire, not really interested in that. Expanding kingdom could be good, but not anything I'm necessarily looking for. There's no major decisions or anything that I really need to do right now. I think we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing. Let's look at our realm. When it comes to this, we can't really do anything because we still don't have King's Justice, because I don't think we ever became the head. Oh, we did become head of our culture. That's amazing. Right now, we have 5 years until city planning is done, which I'm honestly kind of just fine with letting that go. And then I think King's Justice is probably the second best one to do here. We also are getting early palaces, which is pretty nice to get. And I think this is fine. I don't really think there's anything necessarily to worry about. Kingship is pretty good. Actually, I might just go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Kingship. I actually kind of like that, because I think designating your heir will be really, real helpful as time goes on. Let's see, is there anybody that we can release here for money? We got some hooks, but nothing else other than that. We can do some titles, but I don't really want to do that. Okay, so next thing that I want to do, I want to try going for some of these pieces of land over here. I wanted to go raiding, but I think we might want to go actually for taking some of these pieces of land first. And the reason I'm saying that is because currently there's a lot of weak people over here in these islands. I don't necessarily want them to bunch up and become difficult at any point. I think that we just need to kind of focus on making sure that there's no real big powers outside of these confederations that we have to contend with anytime soon. I'm gonna have my guys. Hello. Can we not do that? Okay, and of course they did anyway. Okay. Okay, they beat me immediately. I didn't really want them to go there because for whatever reason it wouldn't select my troops there, but that's whatever. And for whatever reason my troops actually went and hmm, they went to a nearby place. That's kind of interesting. Okay, hold up. We got to just chill here for a second. Let's get our stuff situated because I kind of just like let things get out of control there for a moment. Let's go ahead and call these guys in as well. Let's raise our troops up again. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be the problem. Okay, so something I didn't foresee is that seaside, these like ocean islands right here, they're really hard to get onto because of the landing. I didn't think that the troops they had were strong enough to actually beat us, but that does kind of lead me to another thing too. I think we might just have to start going like building some men at arms because our levies are just not very strong, and that seems to be kind of a big problem right now. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to focus on trying to get our levies just a little bit better, our men at arms a little bit better because yeah, the levies were not doing nearly as well as I thought. And it may just be a little bit too soon to be going after some of these islands. We're just gonna have to, I guess, check to see which ones are the most easy to get. Um, we're gonna keep this area right here. I want to keep that area of Laconia. This piece of land up here, I can go ahead and get rid of. I am not too worried about that. We'll give it to our niece up here, and I'm fine with that. Your son and hero. And with that, I think that this makes this son ineligible to actually uh, get any what's it called? Any titles from me upon death. So I think that's actually probably the best thing for us to do right there. Let's check to see. A lot of these guys over here are still like in confederacies, so we're just going to pay close attention to them to see if that ever stops. This guy is not in an alliance, but he does have two allies with a total of 800 troops, which is something to be careful of. So, once again, we're just going to let our troops kind of raise up here a little bit. Because currently we have 668 out of a total of 1421, so we're going to let that just kind of build. Oh, this is you, my courtier. My daughter-in-law has given birth to two children. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think before we get started, I think we're going to go ahead and call this episode here. Okay, guys, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you have anything you want to say, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to see more in the future, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. We're getting really close upon the recording of this video. I think I'm getting close to 100 subscribers. So if you could help me get there, if I haven't already got there by the time this comes out, I would really appreciate it. So we can get on to our next goal, which would be at 500 subscribers. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to subscribe to my channel, it helps out a lot. It means a great deal. And again, guys, I'll see you next time.